Why should you support the individual? The idea of the collective, it's a spiritual thing sometimes and a political power, but I don't believe that any one person should have a power over the many, with the exception of your usual representatives. But even though there's people who are in power, doesn't mean they need to take away our power. People power, that is. I'm proud to say that I come from the same background as not only the one and only Ayn Rand, but also Anton LaVey. People who value the individual over the community are actually doing better for society as a whole. Unlike this hippie idea of a collective, the individual works for himself, and when doing so, ends up benefiting the community. The incentive to work is an American concept and a completely Western concept. And most of the people who fear liberty are people who fear those who can influence society. They fear those who are hardworking. They fear the idea of inequality because they're scared of what it can do. Inequality, when created from the individual, allows people to exist in their own class. If somebody wants to make $50,000 and doesn't seem to want to make less or more, why can't they be in that position? What's wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that type of system. There is nothing wrong with the system that those who desire to work can work. The smallest businesses tend to exist in places where you're allowed to have businesses. People should have the incentive to work. We can't just say, hey, you can't start a business unless you do this, that, and the other. Prosperous societies come from the idea that people are allowed to prosper any way they wish to. That's how prosperous societies are created. Even big corporations act like governments. They act like bureaucracies. They make it harder for people who want to work for themselves to do it. For the individual to truly succeed, you need small businesses, and you need the incentive for people to start small businesses. And hey, I encourage you to start a business, and I want you to value American freedoms.